Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. We've got another deck profile for you today. As you can see, the angle is slightly different from the previous ones and I don't really know why. Probably because I couldn't put things back together, but we are going to be doing Blurple Croc. And this is absolutely one of my favourite decks right now, and it's super mid. It's not bad, it really will, you'll go to time every single round and you'll really piss your opponents off because they just will not be able to kill you. Until they do, which does suck, because the deck is really fun, but it just has some really bad matchups that are top of the meta that do make it feel quite rough. That being said, it's a fun ride and definitely worth giving a try, and you know, not super expensive. So let's go ahead and get into it. Obviously, we got the leader himself, the big Baroque's work boy. We're going to start with the top end actually, because I think that's really important to discuss. So we have 2 copies of Mihawk. Don't worry that other old tarts are coming. And I think the thing about this deck is you have to be able to out 8-cost Kid. So you need to be building like this big board. And fundamentally, like if your opponent is not playing around the existence of cards like Mihawk, cards like Doflamingo, you'll see in a second, or cards like Kaido, they're going to have a really bad time. Because these removal tools, as long as you are not so low life or so low counter power that you can't afford to deal with whatever the next turn is, because you're not putting up blockers, you're not putting up things, right? Like, that's crazy. Now, and these cards are kind of awkward, right? So, in terms of tempo, because you play something like this, and the issue you face is the fact that it does something immediately, sure, but it's not giving you aggression, it's not giving you defense, so you have to be in a nice position to be able to take advantage of it. But certainly, once this card gets on the board, it's probably sticking there, it's probably not getting removed. And any attack your opponent throws into this, you're happy with, because, I mean, it's like getting 4k counter power for free. That was probably a little bit too much information on why I play it, but yeah. Then I've got 2 copies of Kaido. I really like this card, but it's quite expensive. You don't really have a ramp in this deck, so you've got to be careful when you use it. But sometimes, man, like, this is going to save your bacon. You're just going to slam it down, and you're going to go whoop, 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 whoop. And it feels really good. Being able to, like, kill those really big blockers or things like that. Then I've got 2 copies of Crocodile. And again, don't worry, the old tot's coming. This card is so good. Banish is a really powerful keyword. I think this card is being super slept on. You just have to know when to use it, when it's okay to play. The biggest problem with this card is if you're on against blue, you can get this card. You can bet this card's getting Mihawked. So you got to play the right sort of levels of cost for this. But again, yeah, this card's really nice. And reducing the event cost. This deck, if you didn't know, plays a lot of events. And we'll come on to those in a little bit. Alright, and to kind of round out the top end, we've got 2 copies of Fukurokuju and 2 copies of Virgo. These are just your vanillas. These are really just good value cards. You can kind of play, you know, how many of each you want. But I think these are really, really nice in just giving you that ability to threaten boards, to have these big beaters, and to just, you know, be providing constant pressure. And they're cheap enough that you can afford to play them and still have Don to do what you need to do. Because the problem with this deck is it's very, very Don hungry. Then we got a triple Pacifista. You'll see why this is seeing play, but yeah, I mean, this card synergizes with a bunch of other ones, and it's another big beater. Then I've got 2 copies of Queen, and I promise you I have alt arts of this. They're just currently stuck in Royal Mail. So, as you all know, the workers are on strike, and I support them, but the unfortunate truth of that is I don't have my alt arts to make my flex deck profile. So when I make an updated version of this, which I will be doing come ST03, because we will be needing a bunch of cards from that, these will be alt art, I promise. But yeah, I play this card because it also helps with that 8-cost Kid, because if you've established 1 or 2 dudes, and suddenly you slam down a Queen, like now that Kid's 6k, and now all of these are already very, very threatening, but you can just stack a couple extra Dons onto Mihawk and then just throw it in, and they're probably not being able to stop that. This card is very useful when they establish a Kid with a couple of blockers. And you've already got a pre-established board. Ignore this wire. I don't know why it is intruding upon the shot. And I guess I can't stop it. Sorry about that. Next, Quad Hancock. This card is very good. I don't think I really need to explain this. It draws you cards. It's a blocker. It's an attacker. It's really nice. It's less good in this deck than it is in Doffy though. Then I'm so sorry. This is 3 copies of the Pacifista blocker. which I just don't have right now. All my commons are at my friend's house, so I just don't have this yet. I'm going to get them later, but I had to record this before I leave. If you saw my market watch, you'll know why. So yeah, I'm really sorry about this janky proxy, but that's what it is. Then we've got 4 copies of Bartholomew Kuma. So this card is a blocker. It can get out this guy. You can also get out the Pacifista blocker. And on that kind of subject, we play the Centimaro package. So you can use Centimaro to get this card out. You can get the Pacifista blocker out. This card is free. Super good effect to just get stuff out of deck. Really nice. It thins your deck as well. So it's good. Then we play 4 2k counters here in Ulti. And 4 copies of Miss All Sunday. This card is absolutely insane. It's a blocker, so it's going to deal with an attack. Even if it gets removed by like your opponent's Robin or something, that's fine because it's still going to get its on KO effect off, which is just to add an event from your trash to your hand. And this adds any event. So let's talk about the events. We're going to play Quad Overheat, Quad Love Mellow, and Quad Desert Sparta. Ignore the proxy, I just explained why. And yeah, so the strength of this deck is the fact that you are constantly cycling through cards. You have a huge amount of counter power. If you get out one of these Crocs and you establish it, these all suddenly go down to costing 1, and this card is free. And suddenly that means you're basically never getting hit again. And the idea is you want to hopefully establish a board and then just never let it die, because you have these incredibly powerful tools. You have your board established. You don't really need to start constantly be committing things to board. You just protect what you have, give it dons, apply pressure, and just go. And then you save your dons for these, and you save your hand cards for counterpower. And again, with this leader effect, every time you use one of these, if you're at 4 cards or lower, you should be drawing. So that's why you're kind of fluctuating in this 3 to 5 card region. 3 triggers Mellow, 4 triggers Croc, 5 triggers Hancock. So you're operating in that kind of hand size region. And you know, on average, a card in your hand is like 1.5k counter power. Every other deck in the game, it's on average is about 1k. So you have a lot more than other decks, which is absolutely like a major plus for this deck. You'll also notice that there's pretty much no cards without counter power in this deck, right? Like the only cards that do not have counter power are these 3 Pacifista blockers and your 4 card top end here. And obviously these cards you need Don for, but they have a lot of counter power. So this is an extremely defensive deck. Obviously the biggest problem is if you let your units die, that's really going to hurt you. To an extent, you actually don't really care about your life gain, right? Like the only life that matters is the last one. So, and I'm telling you, this deck, you can stop those 12k kill attacks. You actually can. You know, it actually doesn't really take that much for you to be able to do. It takes like 2 of these. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to have that in hand. It's just going to happen. So yeah, that is it for this deck profile. I think this deck is really fun. I recommend giving it a try. It is a little bit finicky to play, so it'll take you a little bit of practice to get decent with it, but it's really good at just pissing your opponent off. But yeah, that is it for this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel for way more deck profiles just like this. 80% of you are not subscribed. That's crazy. Change that. I would really be delighted if you did, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Cheers.